You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna fuck with nobody, and I don't want nobody fuck with me. If I go on vacation, my fault.
You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. Either for you to go Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
Whoa! The boxing gloves are off, but the real fight is just beginning. Floyd "Money" Mayweather is unleashing pure fury at Charleston White with some serious threats. The champion boxer is demanding Charleston shut his mouth about this Big Meech situation, or else. But Charleston, this man who's faced prison, ain't about to bow down to anybody. Since hitting the streets, Charleston's been dropping bombshells in interviews left and right. He just blew the lid off the explosive Big Meech and 50 Cent situation. While admitting there's zero evidence Big Meech actually snitched, he straight up said 50 had every right to go nuclear after the Meeches betrayed him by cozying up to his worst enemies. With Floyd Mayweather leading that enemy parade, Floyd is absolutely seething over Charleston's revelations and made his intentions crystal clear. If their paths cross, it's going down. But the million-dollar question hanging in the air, is Floyd genuinely in Big Meech's corner? Or is this all an elaborate chess move to strike at his former brother 50 Cent? You need to stay locked in.
Let this be a perfect example on you gotta be very careful on who you bring in and who you put on. That's Little Meech right there. And if you don't know, he's the son of Big Meech. And if you don't know who that is, well, Big Meech was one of the biggest drug dealers in Detroit, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, long story short, he went in jail. He came out of jail and he started linking up with 50 Cent's ops. Now, bear in mind, 50 Cent made BMF and put Little Meech on BMF without any acting skills.
This Big Meech drama is spiraling out of control and dragging everybody down with it. The latest caught in this crossfire, Floyd Mayweather and Charleston White, and it's getting ugly. In a fresh interview, Charleston weighed in on the beef between Big Meech, Lil Meech, and 50 Cent with some jaw-dropping takes. First, he said he doesn't buy 50's claims that Big Meech snitched because there's no paperwork. Then he went in on people spreading rumors about Big Meech using Tammy Cowan to set up Cuffy, saying folks need to do their homework before running with that story.
When you do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. So if you go do your research, you find out that there's no paperwork on Big Meech. That's why you hadn't seen no paperwork. It's all hearsay. Somebody saying he told, or somebody saying he used Tammy Cowan's to set up Cuffy. Well, when you do your research and you look at the court documents that's on Big Meech, you see that Tammy Cowan took the stand and said that she did this on her own accord without Big Meech's knowledge.
Then Charleston really turned up by taking 50's side and putting the Meeches on blast. He said he doesn't blame 50 for snapping because when nobody else, including Rick Ross, was supporting Big Meech, 50 was holding it down. He got Lil Meech cleaned up, sent him to acting school, and put him in a hit series that had millions flowing while Big Meech was locked up. 50 basically played father to Lil Meech, and according to Charleston, anyone would be heated if they did all that only for them to turn around and link up with the enemy. He called Big Meech connecting with Rick Ross a straight-up betrayal, saying father and son deserve whatever 50 throws their way.
I'm looking at it from 50 position. I go get your son, and at the time when I meet your son, he's not making the best decisions in life. You know, they say he was strung out on them perks, and they like to pop them perks. 50 take him somewhat, I wouldn't say clean him up, but spend 2 years in acting classes that 50 paid for. It was hard finding somebody to play the role of Big Meech, so we pick your son. 50, according to 50, he's put over $5 million into the pockets of Lil Meech and the families, you know, financial over $5 million. He's helped them make. Nigga blew your son up, and we bring you back to life. Prior to the BMF series, Big Meech was buried alive. Wasn't nobody saying his name. Jeezy wasn't really shouting him out no more. He was buried alive. So 50 bring life back to him, put his son in a position, turn his son into a millionaire, and he actually turned out to be a pretty good actor. You come home, I'm gonna put you in a better position. For you to go fuck Rick Ross, that's a slap in the face.
All this drama kicked off when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross for money after getting out. And let's be real, none of this would have happened if Lil Meech hadn't fumbled all that money 50 put in his pockets. When 50 found out Big Meech went behind his back to team up with Ross, he felt played and started calling Big Meech a snitch. Lil Meech tried to smooth things over in the DMs, explaining his pops needed money, but 50 wasn't having it. Instead, he hit where it hurts, announcing he was pulling the plug on the BMF series, cutting off Lil Meech's cash flow. That situation had folks split. Some thought Lil Meech was right to patch things up. Others felt he should have stood firm and checked 50 for coming at his father. And Boozy had plenty to say about it.
I was like, damn, you know, like, seemed like him and 50 got a, you know, because after that thing came out, how Meech was talking all, you know, like, no, all y'all, I'm with my dad, but you know, I ain't like his response, you know, but it seemed like he got a genuine love for 50 Cent on him, and from when I was reading it, like he seemed like he caught in the middle, but you know, like he caught in the middle. That's what it seemed like from me reading it, but I'd have been like, you.
Right, because it's your father.
My daddy.
50 cutting Lil Meech off will hit his pockets hard, since 50 put him on in the first place. You'd think they'd try to talk things out to keep the show going, but instead, they went petty. They doubled down by getting closer to 50's enemies, especially Lil Meech, spotted with Floyd Mayweather multiple times. Both Meeches have been flooding social media with pics of them with Floyd and Rick Ross. Lil Meech dropped photos from Miami's Lucky Strike bowling alley with both men, captioning it, "Real Power," clearly a shot at 50. In another post, he shared pics with his dad and Floyd, then later posted a video sitting courtside with Floyd at a Lakers game. With all this drama, nobody's buying this wasn't intentional. 50 and Ross have been enemies for years after Ross claimed 50 gave him a dirty look during a performance. They've been trading shots ever since. 50 never lets up on Ross, constantly calling him Officer Ricky and a fake gangster. Back in 2015, he straight up called Ross a fraud.
What about you and Rick Ross?
That is desperation at the points that you hear things from him at this point. You know, because if you're looking for someone, it ain't that hard to find me. You know, I'm around. And I'm not used to having an altercation with law enforcement. I'm just not used to saying I'm gonna do something to a correctional officer or to a police officer or anyone who's been under oath that's gonna say with no problem everything that you've said and everything that's happened immediately after, like, you know this.
In another interview, 50 doubled down and called Rick Ross irrelevant, saying he doesn't respect his career at all. And trust, Ross feels the same, calling 50 nothing but a big crybaby.
You took a picture with Rick Ross? You like a hoe, put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal. Get your money. You don't know these don't know you. And for anybody going against Ricky Rose, let me have this. I've been putting my foot up you since for the last 15 years. Everything you touch crumble. Why you think Rose on top? We don't take this shit personal.
The Ross beef makes sense, but Floyd Mayweather? That's shocking because once upon a time, he and 50 were like brothers. Now they can't stand each other. Their beef might be 50's messiest ever, which says a lot. Back in the day, they were inseparable. They even graced Double XL's cover, like Ride or Dies. Everything changed in 2012 when Floyd got locked up on that DV charge. While Floyd was in jail, 50 stepped up to manage Floyd's businesses, TMT and Mayweather Promotions, because Floyd asked him to. What 50 didn't expect was how messy those businesses were. Nothing was even registered, so 50 started from scratch, putting $1 million of his own money in, only for Floyd to switch up after getting out. Instead of matching 50's investment or paying him back, Floyd accused him of trying to take over. While Floyd spread lies, 50 was trying to help get Floyd back on his feet, similar to Ross's fundraiser idea for Big Meech.
As he was actually going in to jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather Promotions.
Right.
Then as he actually got in and I took a look, I realized there is no Mayweather Promotions. There's no LLC, there's no seal, it's not incorporated. It's just
the name.
Yeah,
that comes out people's mouths.
Right. See, technically, Floyd is a Golden Boy fighter. You see what I'm saying? He fights on every Golden Boy card. They do all the footwork on
like
every
the negotiations
show.
And the imprint, the paperwork.
It built the whole show. So when he says helping with Mayweather Promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
get it together.
Put it together for him. So I do TNT Promotions. I get it all the way together. Sign the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa. It's like I had to negotiate a release. It was $1.2 million. Andre Durrell, IBF champion Billy Dip, WBA champion Celestino Calabero. So we brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was incarcerated.
Yeah.
When he comes home, there's the Let's Get Floyd Back in the Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought, buying new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail.
Right.
So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants, to give me the other half of it? Well, I gotta ask you for it.
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he told me to do that.
50 doesn't play about loyalty, so he wasn't letting Floyd spin fake stories. But when 50 clapped back, he looked like the villain. Floyd pushed his narrative, calling 50 a boxing groupie with a flop music career. They claimed to patch things up, but that was a lie. It only got worse. Floyd started clowning 50's relationship with his son Marquise, while 50's blasted Floyd for creeping with his best friend's woman.
I look at the computer say, Floyd said, Nelly 50. I'm like, what did he say me for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance, say that.
50 even accused Floyd of being involved in the Earl Hayes tragedy, saying, tell everybody why you were on FaceTime when he took out Jessica and himself because he was pressing you about messing with his wife. Then 50 went for the jugular, daring Floyd to read one page from Harry Potter for $750,000 to any charity.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to. The bucket eyes.
Floyd tried flexing with pictures of $72 million in checks, but couldn't shake the illiterate allegations. So he challenged 50 to a fight to settle things. The streets buzzed about a 2014 fight that never happened. By 2018, Floyd got extra petty by inviting Tiaira Mari, who was suing 50 over revenge porn, to perform at his club. The final straw came when Floyd posted an open letter dragging 50, calling him a snitch, mocking his career and painting him as bitter and jealous. That killed any brotherhood they had left. So when the Meeches posted pics with Floyd, 50 took it as a direct slap. He immediately fired back, sharing a video of Lil Meech with Ross, joking Ross would give Big Meech lifetime free chicken wings from his franchise. 50 also attacked Lil Meech's acting, comparing him unfavorably to Michael Rainey Jr., who just won an NAACP award. He topped it off with an AI video making it seem like Lil Meech was saying 50 tried showing him the good life, but he preferred following his dad's footsteps.
Something to think about the next time you're on stage waving signs, trying to be like the only daddy you got. I understand you want to keep his name alive, but youngin', I'm trying to save you from your demise. You said it yourself. My pops was a real... Youngin', that ain't no lie. He was in the business that the system perpetuates from the side to keep us in the condition where we ain't made to survive. But you think he a god? Well, let me ask you this. Would you kill a world and save yourself? Yeah, I ain't think that was wise. Something to think about the next time y'all thugging, drinking and drugging, hard liquor y'all full of killers. Remember, hold up, I tried to give you the large picture. Hold up, man. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. Hold up. Keep going, keep going. Hold on. He gonna get this work. I tried to give him the large picture. Yo, Pops wasn't no gangster.
It's wild how hard 50's coming for Lil Meech when he had nothing to do with his father's alleged snitching. After Boosie called 50 out for targeting the son, 50 aired his side. I did more for Meech than anybody. If he got locked up, I'm the first, he called. Bailed him out every time. But when I saw him laughing at his dad's post, he's a snake too. He belongs with him. In another post, 50 revealed he got Lil Meech into rehab and taught him money management. He was uncomfortable with me and his mom's relationship. I told his mom I don't want him doing drugs. He told him X was cool. I said chill on spending. He told him to blow money. People don't know I sent Meech to rehab. Russell Hornsby caught him high on set, throwing up during weapons testing. Ian told me he had whippets in his truck. When someone does that much for your family, the least you can do is not link up with their enemies all over social media. That's why Charleston said Big Meech's biggest mistake was posting that clip with Ross and denying snitching allegations.
Meech's biggest mistake was getting on camera with Rick Ross, running to the internet. Rick Ross was wrong for putting Big Meech out there, knowing he doing business with 50. Rick Ross using Meech. Rick Ross using him, homie, knowing that there's a beef between me and this guy. So to do this video and then put it out there was a slap in the face to 50. And I done put everybody in position. Now, I'm with 50. While you were gone, Rick Ross didn't reach out to your son. Try to put him in his position where he can make $5 million. Did nobody reach out to you? Rick Ross didn't give you no money off using your name, your likeness or whatever in that song. He didn't give you no kickbacks for that. So, if he really f***ing with you, he could have put the concert on without putting you in the mix. But they playing tit for tat. So 50 ain't wrong.
Even if 50 could have moved past the Ross drama to focus on BMF, the Meeches killed that chance by popping out with Floyd. As for Floyd, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's using father and son as pawns against 50, not caring who gets caught in the crossfire, including Charleston White. Word is Floyd's pulling strings behind the scenes to get Charleston arrested. If true, that's some next level petty. But what do y'all think? Is Floyd really going to help the Meeches, or is this all just to get under 50's skin? Drop your thoughts and stay locked in for more.